What's up, guys? What's up, my archfiends of chaos? This is your King and I, Vincent Valentine EX Turk, with another fan theory discussion video talking about the past, talking about Loqi and Kor's past. How is it possible that Loqi knows who Kor the Immortal is? Now, everybody knows who Kor the Immortal is because, well, he's Kor the Immortal, the one who survived the Gilgamesh trial. Even the Nifelhiem Emperor knows who he is, but that's by reputation. But I think there's something when you go to chapter 3, in Final Fantasy 15, there's actually something that just is very peculiar, and it's almost if it's personal. Now, we're gonna be going down three. We're gonna be going down 3 videos. We're gonna be going down 3 theories. I think it's possible that maybe Loqi Tumult could, because we don't really know Coriolis' last name. We just know him by Kor. Maybe Kor's actually Tumult that fell off, and maybe Loqi's actually Kor's son and wanted to follow the Tumult bloodline, but Kor serves the Lucius Caelum household, and Loqi thinks the Lucius Caelum household's evil. As you played the I'm pretty sure everyone has played the Assassin's Festival Final Fantasy 15 free DLC. If you haven't, there's a thing that Loqi says that when you're trying to capture him. He says millions of people will be saved. Millions of people will be saved in the end if Noctis dies. Maybe Loqi finds the Lucius Caelum household's evil, or at least either Idolus or Arden has fed it in his mind that the Lucius Caelum household is evil and they had to be destroyed. But what could this mean, Vincent? You're not being specific. Because Coriolis decides to join the Kingsguard, Kor would have a son way after, because he'd be a grown man at the time, because he joined at the age of 13. But because he's part of the Crown's Guard and he serves the Lucius Caelum household, if he's actually a Tumult, which again, this is only the fan theory part of it, if he's actually a Tumult, maybe the House of Tumult wanted to serve the Nifelhiem Empire instead of Lucius Caelum, and maybe Loqi could have joined the Nifelhiem Empire to bring honor back to the Tumult family, because he wanted to bring back. He even says something about the Tumult family, Tumult family being, dishonored. Loqi says something, like, I want to bring honor to the Tumult family by capturing the evil Prince Noctis, because he sees Noctis as an evil person, because they lost their honor. Now, how is it possible they lost their honor? And then this is why I think it's personal, because the first person Loqi notices Kor the Immortal. He does see Noctis, his target, but the first person he actually notices is Kor. Now, I know this sounds really crazy, but that's just the one theory. That's the one theory that you can narrow down. Second theory, maybe it could be the same thing how it was with Regis and Ravis's relationship. How Regis didn't save Ravis's mom, and then Ravis blamed King Regis for the death of Queen Silva. Even told Lunafreya, why are you going to converse with our mom's killer? Which, those are lies fed by the Nifelhiem Empire. So maybe something happened to Loqi Tumult to lose at least some of his family, and then his family lost their honor because the Tumults got destroyed, and the only one who survived was Loqi. And Kor could have saved him, and he probably looked at Kor, didn't know who he was, and then Emperor Idolus, since he probably more likely answered to Idolus, Idolus is like, that's Kor the Immortal. You know, and it's his fault that your family got killed and your the Tumult clan got dishonored. So he probably joined the Nifelhiem Empire to get revenge on Kor, and maybe that's what spawned, you know, Loki's hatred toward Kor and his personal ill feelings to Kor, because this is so personal to him. The first person he would notice is Kor. Maybe Kor is just like it is with King Regis. Kor the Immortal failed to save the Tumult clan, or whatever village the Tumult clan comes from. And so Loki looks into the Nifelhiem Empire because that's all he has. So pretty much he has a lot in common with Ravus. And this is the second theory. This is the number two theory. You know, this is the number 2 theory as to what happened. Number 3. I'm trying to think what number 3 would be. Maybe the Tumult clan probably came from Insomnia. Way before Kingsglaive, obviously, because, you know, during the Kingsglaive time, he's in Gralia. But he probably was a Lucian, or he was probably in the poor district, so he probably knew who Nyx, Ulrich was, and all the immigrants in the lowest part of Insomnia. So maybe the Tumult clan are actually immigrants that weren't taken care of properly. So, you know, Loki has hated the Lucius Caelium bloodline because the Lucius Caelium bloodline has ignored the poor people. And maybe the Tumult clan has lost their honor because they felt ignored, that they felt neglected by the Lucius Caeliums. And that's what prompted him to join the Nifelhiem Empire. Of course, this would be way many years before, this will be many years before Kingsglaive. So, because Titus Andronicus is a spy at that point, because he's been there for 7 years. Maybe during the 7 years, Titus Andronicus recruits Loki for the Nifelhiem Empire as General Glocka. Because he could put the costume on instantly. He could put the costume on at any time, at any given time. You know, even under Insomnia, and he could be undetected because of his abilities of his Magitech armor. He's have like the most technological based, you know, upgraded base Magitech, so he can't even be detected by King Regis unless he wears it in front of King Regis. So maybe during dark time and stuff like that, Titus Andronicus takes a walk and goes into the hoods and into the back alley. So even the, you know, and behind the Tumult's residents stay to recruit Loki. And maybe he, for some crazy reason, he wanted to test his might against Kor the Immortal. Now, I know this is going to be 3 theories, but there's actually a number 4 theory of why Loki hates Kor the Immortal. I think it's also possible that Kor could have recruited Loki as one of his students, but because of his hunger for power and honor for the Tumult clan, he probably failed Kor's exams. Now, I know this is going to be kind of crazy, but I kind of actually compare Kor the Immortal to Kakashi from Naruto. You know how Kakashi would only take certain students if they passed. If they failed, he would not give them a second chance because he was really strict. Kor the Immortal's a strict teacher. He was even strict with Gladiolus, hence why the boss fight between Gladiolus for the final trial and Kor was one of the hardest boss fights in the game by far, because Kor the Immortal believes in a certain way of teaching where it's completely strict. Yes, Kor the Immortal is pretty cool and you could chill with him and have a drink with him in the bar, but he's still a strict teacher, and maybe Loki couldn't pass his exams, so Glocka has recruited Loki. And Loki wanted to get back at Kor because Kor failed him at his exams, and that's probably what brought dishonor to the Tumult clan. Thus, thus bringing his hatred toward Kor, because he's failed all of Kor's, because he's failed the one test, and the one test that would be the character test. Loki's just like Ravus. Loki wanted power. He even said it in the Assassin's Festival DLC. And this is why I'm glad the Assassin's DLC, even though I didn't really like the fact that they're using a different game rather than Final Fantasy, I like the Assassin's Festival for the fact that we got more background story of Loki now. We know more about Loki, because they didn't give us very much. We just seen him die in Chapter 3, and him talk to Kor the Immortal like he knew him. This will make a lot of sense, because maybe, like I said, I think I really go with fourth theory. I think he was one of Kor's students who failed, because he wanted power. And just like Ravus, he seeked the Nifelhiem Empire, and Arden, let's be honest, Arden is a good manipulator. Arden gives people what they want. That's exactly why Arden's the Chancellor of Nifelhiem, because he knows exactly how to get people to do what he wants. He manipulated everybody. He manipulated Ravus by telling Ravus that it was King Regis' fault all this time. And that Idolus is actually the one trying to help Ravus. Arden is also told, Idolus himself, the Nifelhiem Emperor, the crystal could save his people, even though he lied, just to get the crystal for himself, And he's tripped Verstel, because Verstel's a scientific mind, that he would give him hordes of demons to make Magitech, and Verstel's made profit off his stuff, and pretty much got praise for his scientific reward. So who's not to say that Arden is not the one telling Loki that, well, I'm sorry, Kor failed you. You know what? He wasn't even a good teacher. I think you should be taught by me, and that's why, and that would explain why, Loki is joined, because Arden's a good manipulator. I'm pretty sure Arden's the one who did most of the recruiting. Even with General Glocker recruiting Loki, I'm pretty sure Arden has put the words, because Arden is very smooth. Arden knows how to tell people what they want. He knows how to get people what they want. Arden has that type of... As much as I don't like the character Arden's very smooth. Arden's a smooth operator, so, I think it's possible. I think it's very much possible that, that Loki was probably fed in by Arden's lies, saying, well, Kor failed you. He didn't really think much of you, did he? I could see Arden saying something like that. I mean, Arden will know who Kor the Immortal is, too. All the Empire does. In fact, Arden's the only one who could also be one of the characters that could defeat Kor the Immortal because of the Star Scourge. But, besides that, I think this is why Loki joined the Nifelhiem Empire, is because one of the four things, I think the best theory to go with is number 4. That Loki was one of his students one time, and, he failed. And Loki did not like that because it brought shame to the Tumult clan. And in the Assassin's DLC, Loki talks about bringing, honor back to the Tumult clan. So, I think it's safe to say that, reason why Loki has joined the Nifelhiem Empire is because he wanted to get back at Kor. Now he wants to get back at Noctis, which makes a lot of sense because Noctis defeated him and dishonored him even more, which I still don't know how he survived unless Loki is a demon, But, he wouldn't need to use the Magitech engine. Now, I don't know what you think about these theories. I gotta get ready to go someplace, so I don't know what you think about these theories, but may the crystal be with you. Let me know in the comments why you think Loki has joined the Nifelhiem Empire. I want to hear your thoughts. if any of the theories made sense or not. So may the crystal be with you.